Hello, QVS US History students. Welcome to the course. Welcome to the new school year. I wanted to take the opportunity today to introduce myself. My name is Mrs. Sedmak, and I will be working with you this year. I'm so excited about this class. We are working with a new curriculum and a new course design, and it is going to be an excited year learning about U.S. history. I hope you are excited too. And if you're kind of lukewarm about U.S. history and not sure if this is where you want to be, hopefully by the middle of the year or end of the year, you will have changed your mind because you will have a newfound love for studying history. I've been working with QSI for many, many years and QVS as well. So I have a lot of experience and hopefully I can use that experience to help you be successful in this online course. I wanted to take the opportunity also today to show you around the platform that you will be working on, the Moodle page, which by this point you should have access to. I'll talk about the Introduction to Online Learning course, the IOL, and emphasize its importance in terms of its completion. And then I'll take you to the U.S. History course page and talk about your responsibilities within the context of the first week of school and even beyond, because we will take a look at Essential Unit 1 and hopefully get you a nice introduction into what you need to do. Then you can also take a look at the Teams message that I sent you. I contacted you on Teams. That will be our messaging or chat system for the class. If you ever have any questions or if you ever need to meet with me, that is where we can meet in video conference where I can answer any questions that you may have about the class if you're confused in how to move forward or anything like that. So let's go to the Moodle course page. I'll show you around and then we can get moving forward with Essential Unit 1. So when you log into Moodle, this is what we call your Moodle dashboard. I'm going to close this over here. And on your Moodle dashboard, it's not likely that you have as many classes that I do, but I teach a whole bunch of QVS courses. But what you most definitely have is this Introduction to Online Learning module. I want to emphasize its importance. So if you click open that module, there are different tasks that you must complete in order to gain access to my QVS class, the U.S. history class that is. Make sure that you click on this section. You'll watch some videos where you can meet your teachers. In this short module here, you'll learn how to be successful in QVS courses, some tips from some old students, if you will. In this module, you'll get familiar with some of the different types of activities, uploading files, participating in forums, completing SCORM packages, taking tests. It's important that you and your parents sign the plagiarism contract and consent form. And then finally, if you are an AP student, there's some information important for AP students in this section or module here. Once you complete this module, you'll receive a grade, and then you will gain access to the QVS US History course. So on your dashboard, you'll see the U.S. History course. Click it open. And I'll just kind of give you a short little tour. Over here is some information about me, the teacher. I'm located in West Africa in a small country called Benin. We have a QSI school there, and I teach our secondary program in Benin. Here's my email address and office hours. I do teach a couple face-to-face classes in the afternoon, so every other day, I'm not available in the afternoon, but I'm available every morning and in the evening as well by appointment. I want to again welcome you to the U.S. History class. What I want you to do on the first day is take a look at the course syllabus. It outlines the units for this year. I also sent this in my introductory Teams message. The textbook for the course can be accessed here on this link. I would advise you to download it ahead of time so that you have it in advance and are not like trying to get it when maybe you don't have a good internet connection or whatnot. We won't always use or just highly depend on this textbook. I use a lot of different resources throughout the context of the course. There's a help form here where you can ask questions, but again, We also have the Teams chat where you can get to know your classmates there and even get direct contact with me in the chat there. I have an attendance module here, so it tracks how much time you spend on the course page. And then finally, here is the mastery table, so you get a strong understanding of the different units that we will study. U.S. history is broken up into 8 essential units, okay? And that means we have to master 2 selective units throughout the course of the year. I have the 2 selective units that we will do integrated within this mastery table. With the first, within the first 2 quintiles, we will do selective unit 5, which is called the History of America through Film. And with the third and fourth quintile, we'll do selective unit 6, which is called the History of America through Music. So I'm really excited about those units. Film and music, they're both great ways to learn about a country, their history and culture. The course this year is taking a thematic approach. In the first unit, we will look at chronology and get a sense of the big picture and look at different time periods in U.S. history. But from then on out, essential unit 2 through 8, we'll take a look at different themes, and you can see the names of the themes as they are outlined here, along with the dates in which we will complete those units. All students want to know what's the difference between an A or a B. If you click here on this link, you can see a rubric that outlines the difference between A level and B level work. And then finally, if you scroll down, you'll see this tab of different units. The only one that's available to you right now is Essential Unit 1, and you can see the dates in which it will be open. So you have pretty much the entire month in order to master this unit. So if you click it open, you'll see an introduction to the unit. So it's always important to read the unit overview right here. And in this unit, we're going to give you a broad overview of 9 different time periods in U.S. history. The 9 periods are outlined here, and in another video, I will go over them more in depth, probably in my week 2 video, but you can read through these different time periods and read the titles to get a sense of some of the major events that define those time periods. And then again, you can see the pacing here, some unit resources. I want to highlight this one, especially this case study. It's not in the textbook, but I am going to use this case study reading for the first unit because what it does in 40 pages is give you a broad overview of U.S. history. So it'll be a great way for you to get introduced to those 9 different time periods with a short, concise reading on the history of the country. There's that rubric or grade rubric again. And then finally, we get down to the meat of the unit activities. Every unit's broken down into different weeks. And this is the week that we have to concentrate on right now as we begin the class. We are taking an inquiry approach in the history course this year. And what that means is we're going to begin every unit with what we call a compelling question. So every single one of these units will be set up the same way. And you can see for this one, the compelling question is, of the periods outlined in this unit, which most define the United States of America? Really with the compelling questions, there's no right or wrong answers, but you have to make a persuasive argument. And since this is our first inquiry unit, I'm going to make you defend a claim as opposed to let you take a stand on a claim. And you'll see what I mean by that in a little bit. However, I do want to hear your initial thoughts on the compelling question. So sometime this week, you need to click open this forum and give me your thoughts on this compelling question. Surely you have some prior knowledge about U.S. history, and I've outlined in the forum the different time periods. And if you read through the directions here, you'll get a sense of what I want you to do within the context of each of those forum strands below. And if you have more questions on that, we can talk about it in the Teams chat in the first week of class. Along with the compelling question, we also encourage students to ask supporting questions. So, like when I say this compelling question, what other thoughts come up in your mind? And in this forum, that's where you're going to write your supporting question. Now, I also teach this class face to face. So, as we work through the first week, I'll give you some of the supporting questions that they came up with, or it's likely that many of you will come up with the same supporting questions. Again, what questions are raised in your mind when you hear this compelling question? Then I also want you to get started on this first reading. So please go ahead and download this reading. Like I said, it's about a 40-page reading, and the purpose of it is to give you a broad overview of U.S. history. While you are reading it, you're going to create what we call a concept map. Okay, so I want you to take notes on the reading, and here I explain to you in great detail how to complete a concept map. And if you've never done one, I post an example if you click on this link here. And I'm even telling you that you can either do it digitally, you can create like a concept map in a Jamboard, or you can do it by hand. I don't care what way, as long as you use that reading to create a concept map of notes. Okay, so this you're going to work on in the first week of class. And then finally, one last thing. You're going to be assessed in this unit through a project. I have taken all of the students who are enrolled in this class and I've placed you into groups. So if you go ahead and open this project, I'm going to encourage you to work in the groups where your name is here, either group A, B, or C. But I'm not going to force you to work in a group. You can definitely work on your own if you like. But I'm going to encourage you to work in groups. And the purpose of this project in this group is for you to respond to the compelling question. You're going to have to create a PowerPoint presentation or a Google slide presentation, and you don't get to give me your answer, but you are going to be forced into an answer where you're going to have to persuade me, the teacher, within the context of your presentation, that one of these different time periods was the most defining aspect of U.S. history. And when I say defining, well, that might be one of the supporting questions. What do you mean when you say defining? And we can kind of bring clarity to that through that other forum or discussion. But that it left some great legacy, that something happened within the context of that time period that is still living on in the country's history today. And you could say to me, but Mrs. Sedmak, I don't know anything about the country's history. And that's okay, because that's what we're here for. You're going to read that case study. You're going to learn a lot about a broad overview of the country's history. And then we're going to jump right in, and hopefully you choose to work with some of your classmates, get to know some QSI students in other schools around the world. Or like I said, if you want to work on your own, you can definitely work on your own. But you have to defend the claim that I have given you right here. So group A is going to say the 18th century was the period in U.S. history which most defined America. That would include the American Revolution. Group B has to defend the claim that the 19th century was the period. This is when the Civil War occurred. And Group C will have to defend the claim that the 20th century was. And this is where the United States really entered the world stage and participated in World War I and World War II. So in the presentation, I kind of outlined some more details down here, and I will talk more about that as we move further in the unit. But I want to just introduce it to you here in week 1. But I want to emphasize the point that your biggest responsibility this week is your initial thoughts on the compelling question, supporting questions, and reading the case study and doing the concept map. Again, I want to welcome you to the class. Meet me in teams if you have questions, and I can explain more about the course and take you around the page so that you feel comfortable and you can be successful in the class this year. Bye.